grew wilder.
I began reading stories that the children requested, including Longfellow's stories by Whoever.
By this time it was plain that we could not leave the building, but Leslie and Harley insisted on going to the barn to feed their horse. We had a rule that anyone who had to go outside during the snowstorm must be securely roped around the waist.
I tied a long rope to each of the boys and held their hands. They set out for the barn. I watched the thick piles of rope uncoil. It was too much. It was let out. It missed the barn about 50 feet away.
To my relief, the rope stopped snaking out under the door. The boys were safe.
After a while, and out of breath, the snowman burst into the room. It was Leslie, and he was alone.
Oh, Miss Keller, the wind knocked Harley down and I can't find him. You can't see your hand in front of you. The snow's so thick I'll follow his rope from here.
No, Leslie, don't go out again.
I ordered.
Well, we'll get him in. Everybody help pull.
It took most of us pulling on the rope, but we dragged Harley to the door. I carried him inside.
He was already unconscious and couldn't answer me. We pulled off his frozen outer clothes and rubbed his frostbite hands and face. When he could talk, Harley mumbled his thanks repeatedly.
I couldn't stay awake, Miss Keller.
After we had his circulation stone,
he said, his teeth chattering.
I thought I was a goner.
after we had circulations gone strong, I sat him next to the pot boiled iron stove. The boys kept it.
We had plenty of that in the storage closet already. It was growing dark, so I lit our one and only kerosene lamp and turned as high as I dared. Everyone was hungry again.
What can we eat for supper?
Alvin asked. Let's see what we have. I spread a clean paper on my desk. All of you bring your lunch pails and dump them here. Empty every bit, even the crumbs.
The children obeyed.
There wasn't much. Some chunks of homemade bread, half of a fat carrots that Leslie forgot to take to his horses.
I divided the leftovers equally and we tried to melt some snow on top of the stove, but that took too long. Instead of waiting, most of the children ate snow. The meal was not very satisfying.
Elizabeth, the youngest, began to cry for her mother. I rocked her on my lap and put on her warm outer clothes. Bundle up for the night, boys and girls, I told them. Then lay your head on the desk and try to sleep. Put on your overshoes and coats, caps, scarves, and mittens. They'll keep the fire going.
I never closed my eyes that night as the children slept.
Wind gusts slamming into our small wooden building, making it chilling.
One storm windows was wrenched off, and I prayed the other two wouldn't go. When morning finally came, the storm was still roaring like a freight train.
Our food was gone and we were hungry, but we were safe and warm. Later we learned that the winds dropped the temperature to 40 degrees below zero that night.
I kept reassuring the children that someone would come for us as soon as the storm let up.
We began class with our usual opening song. Then I kept everyone buzz with lessons.
At last, toward noon, a tall man stomped to the door. It was my oldest brother, Walter. We had fought his way through the storm to reach us. Mother had tied a bag of food on his back in a double blanket. It lifted it off and pried it open as fast as the warm indoor air could thaw the blankets.
Inside was plenty of bread, sausages, slices of roasted goose, and jars of milk. The milk was frozen solid, but I soon had it thawed in a pan of the stove.
Every one of us hugged and thanked Walter. When he got out of his frozen coat, it stood alone in a corner.
By mid-afternoon, the wind finally died down, making it possible for my father to get through the school. His team of big, strong horses pulled our study sled across and around snowdrifts packed as sold as wet sand. The children piled on the sled with Leslie and Harlan following in their light sleigh. Walter and I floundered behind.
Father saw everyone safely home. The children's parents said they hadn't really worried. They knew how much Miss Gladden loved those children. Loved those boys and girls, and she would keep them safe.
Everyone
was relieved that the long ordeal was over.
That was the day I decided to leave Illinois.
I taught school only until my future husband got his medical degree in Nebraska. A fraternity brother who lived in Florida had written him to open his doctor's office down there. So we moved south for good.
The end.
This March day began like many others, cold, cloudy, and rainy. I was the young teacher of Room 1 school near Marcy, North Dakota.
From our farmhouse to the school was far over a mile, a nice walk in good weather, but today my father took my 10-year-old brother Alvin, my little sister Elizabeth, and me to school in our horse-drawn sled.